Hey, everybody, it's Chris Williams, and welcome back to Building Your Thriving Wellness Practice. I'm so darn excited to have one of my very good friends, Laura Mzchinkteno, and she is also inside of my Activate Abundance program as one of my guest experts. She is a master attractor. She is so good at helping you really uncover what is it about you and your ideal client. How do you kind of bring those two things together? And so I absolutely wanted her here to share with you her zone of genius, her wisdom on how we can actually attract the clients that we are the best fit to work with. So Laura, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me and for all of those kind words. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, totally. Yeah. So Laura, tell me what you see. I mean, if we're thinking about, new coaches, new wellness entrepreneurs, women that are just trying to get their business going, this can seem very frustrating for many to try to figure out, well, how do I, once I know who my client is, how do I actually attract them to me?
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Really, the biggest thing that I think people underrate, and of course, I'm going to say this, I come from a copywriting background, I come from a brand marketing background, but people underestimate the importance of positioning, branding positioning, knowing how to talk about the problem that you solve, the result that you create, the transformation that you offer, and to be able to articulate the full value of what you do. Because a lot of times when I see newer people, newer wellness coaches entering the field, they talk about, maybe like help you lose weight or heal your gut or whatever. And they forget to communicate the full value and transformation that's created for people. So I think number one of the most important things that you can do is to be very clear, very specific, very concise, and make sure that you're communicating not only, this is the problem I solve for people, which is important, but also this is the transformation that it has on your life. This is how it impacts you. It's not about losing 20 pounds or healing your gut or whatever. It's about like being able to go to Disney World and enjoy your grandkids, right? To really communicate that transformation in your life, in their lives.
Yes, I see that so often. And I think it's really just a different way. We need to get into our brain a little bit different and think about it a little bit differently. I know when I first started, I had such a hard time with this because I kept giving people like the logistics, right?
Mm.
We're going to have a 90-day program. We're going to meet once a week. Like I kept telling them all of the things,
Yes.
but I wasn't telling them what was the solution or what was the transformation that they're going to actually walk away with.
Yes, you're talking about the difference between features versus benefits, right? The 90-day program, the X number of calls, the recipe book, whatever. Those are all features, and they are great to, justify the investment in your program in your buyer's mind, but they're not the reason why people buy. And that's what's key here. You've got to remember that throwing all of those details at them is not going to get them to make a buying decision with you. They're buying the result that happens. They're buying the transformation that happens. And I know you and I have talked before about no one's selling the actual product, right? Like Dairy Queen commercials aren't selling ice cream. They're selling connection and family and togetherness and memories. And so I want you to think about that if you're listening to this, think about this in your marketing. Like you're not just selling, learning how to eat healthier or, whatever it is that you help people do. You're selling them a whole new future for their life, something they can believe in, something that they can have hope in, something that they can aspire to. Marketing is fundamentally aspirational. A Revlon executive said, in our factories we make lipstick, and our marketing we sell hope, right?
Mhm.
And so you have to be a great marketer, which you need to be if you're in business. You need to become a hope dealer,
Mm.
right? That's what it is. It's about giving people hope that their problems can be solved and their future can be better.
Yeah. Yeah, even like Dove, that's been a big thing the past couple of years, right? With all of the different women and sizes and shapes and colors. And, they're not selling soap in that commercial.
No, I
They're
mean,
selling,
even something as simple as like razors. Gillette is not being like, oh, it has these kinds of metal blades and da da da. What are they selling? They're selling a man who is going out on a lovely date with a woman who's very attractive, right? They're selling that relationship piece,
Mhm.
really.
Yeah.
And so it's like, even as something like that, there's an expression in copywriting, and it's, you don't sell the mattress, you sell the good night's sleep.
Hmm.
And
Oh my
that's
gosh, I was just going to say that. My husband is a salesperson. He works for Tempur-Pedic and Sealy Mattress, and we have this conversation all the time.
Oh
When
yeah,
he comes in and does
I
his,
forgot that he's a mattress.
yes, he is. Oh my gosh.
And I do want to be clear here, because that's talking about sales, which is a very important part, but it's also about how we attract people to us, because
Mhm.
people aren't attracted to all of the features of the memory foam or whatever that's in mattresses. They're attracted to it because they're looking to solve a problem. They're looking to have a better future. And so I think my number one tip that I want to share with everyone from this is use your content, use your marketing, use your every touch point with your audience to solve a specific problem for them. And if you're always the go-to person for solving a specific problem for them, even if it's a tiny one, they're going to keep coming back for more.
So good. Yeah. And I know that, again, when we're building a business here, it can be like, but what do I even talk about? Can you help kind of people like narrow down, like, okay, well, if this is what my client wants, like, how do we dive into that and be like, okay, this and another thing, and another thing, right? Like my brain's like, oh my gosh, and we need to talk about this piece too. The attraction is, and again, instead of leading with the features, right, where that's versus leading with the benefits, it's also helping people build belief.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I learned from Laura. Believe.
Now you're speaking my language.
And look, this isn't like a bait and switch of anything. It is absolutely being able to connect and communicate with the people that are looking for the problem that you solve.
Right.
We're not trying to convince
Exactly.
or persuade or drag anybody across the finish line. We're just trying to be like, hey, if you're struggling with this and you want this over here, I'm your person. And so
Exactly.
this idea of attracting them via content,
Mhm.
can you speak into that piece of, how do we take all of it that's out here and kind of make it more simple, and also dive into the believers or buyers, because that's
Yeah.
powerful.
That's kind of all about what I do. First of all, I want to answer your question about not knowing what to talk about. And first of all, one of the things that I love about working with your clients in Activate Abundance is you are so good at helping them really find, number one, their niche that's really like their soul's purpose, right? I think too many people are going about finding their niche the wrong way. They think, oh, I can make money selling this to people, or I can make money selling this to people. And I think it can make it very difficult to know what to talk about if you've chosen your ideal client or the problem you're solving or your niche for the wrong reasons. And I love how you guide people into choosing marketing that's in alignment. So I think that's a big deal. Even niche aside, if you're trying to market your business or create content in a way that's not in alignment for you, even if it's a great strategy, right? Even if your best friend who's an incredible marketer told you to post on TikTok 3 times a day, if that's not in alignment for you, it's not going to work and it's going to feel really hard.
Yeah, totally.
And so that's a big piece. And then once you have found your niche that's in alignment, once you have found your content platform and all of that that's in alignment, again, it goes back to bringing specificity to it. Remember, I said solve specific problems to it. So let's say, I help people organize then that's what kind of coach I am. And I help people get organized in their life. Well, how to get organized is one video, but how to organize your junk drawer is a different piece of content, and how to organize your closet or how to organize your sock drawer or whatever. Those are all specific pieces of content. And so if you're having trouble, like, God, what do I talk about? What do I talk about? Take your niche area and think about the specific pillars or components or however you want to think about that you really help people with, and get organized with some content pillars. But don't forget, and this goes to the other piece, don't forget to weave in that emotional component, because believers are buyers and people buy on emotion. They form that emotional connection with us, that belief in us, and that's why they buy from us. So even though I just got done saying, how to clean out your junk drawer and how to do this, make sure it's not just here's how to do it. Lack of emotion. Yeah. You want to identify with that emotion of, feeling lost, feeling scattered, feeling like everything's a mess, like you can't find anything, like everything takes longer than it needs to, like all of the emotion that comes with a disorganized life, if that's your niche. So that's the key here in terms of, one, making sense of how to create content with all of this that's around you, and two, building belief in people. Because again, we've had this conversation before, and I get riled up about this, but,
I'm cheering you on.
When people believe in something, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a political candidate. It can be a cause. It can be anything, right? If somebody believes strongly and passionately in something, they will invest time, they will invest money, they will invest energy, they will promote it on others' behalfs. They'll do all of these things. They'll stick the bumper sticker on their car and the yard sign in their yard and host the parade and, volunteer their time and all of the things because they believe in it. Imagine if your audience, the people who are coming to you, started believing in you, if they said, you know what, my friend Chris, she is better than anyone else I know at helping wellness practitioners build their business. She gives them so much love and attention and guidance and support and alignment, and is the whole package. I wouldn't send anyone else send anyone to anyone else but her. I'm gonna tag her in my post. I'm gonna send the email to my list because she helped me and she changed my life. And I want that for you too. And that's what you're trying to create in people.
Yeah.
Which is all true, by the way.
Aw, thank you. I'm blushing. This is such a powerful conversation. And I want to just kind of also weave this into when you are building relationships like this, when you are attracting your ideal client, when you are speaking into helping them solve a problem, it does a whole lot of the work for you. So by the time you get to the investment conversation,
yes,
you're not bumping up against I can't afford the thing, or I can't afford the thing. So this piece is so critically important. It is talking about the results and the transformations that people are going to walk away with versus having them, would you want to buy my XYZ program for this much money?
Yeah. Listen, if you are sitting there watching this and you're getting the I don't have the money or I don't have the time objections, 9 times out of 10, it's because you haven't built enough belief in that person. Think about this, if they truly believed that they could get that result with you, with your help, with your guidance, with your support, that they could do it with your help, they would do it, right? It'd be a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't I? If I truly believed I could have the life that I wanted from this, there's just like, here, take my money, right? There's objections are irrelevant.
Right, exactly. Objections become irrelevant because that is what somebody wants, and I know we talk about this in the coaching world, but it really is true. What we value, we will invest in. What we value, we'll invest in.
Right. And that's why I love your approach and my approach. That's why I love the approach we take to marketing, because I see content and content marketing and sharing our message on social media as a way to actually help shift someone's limiting beliefs into beliefs of possibility, right?
Amen.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's what we're doing, because they're sitting there feeling like they can't, feeling like they're not good enough, feeling like they failed at everything else. It must be them. Like, people are at home right now saying some very nasty shit to themselves. Sorry, excuse my language. They're saying some nasty stuff, right?
That's mild for you, Laura.
Do what?
That's a mild word for you.
They're being mean to themselves. They're saying some stuff to themselves they'd never say to anyone else. And they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they can do it. And really, that's why they're telling you they don't have the time or the money, is they don't believe in themselves. Yeah. And so, do you remember when I said you have to become a hope dealer? Your job is to shift those limiting beliefs that they have in themselves and their ability and what is possible for them, to the point where they're willing to take action to change it. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're like literally changing people's lives and belief systems before they even work with us, when we're first attracting them into our space. How cool is that?
It's amazing. It is amazing. It creates ripples effects everywhere, right? Yeah.
I mean, how many times, think about, if you're listening to this, how many times have you gotten an aha moment or been touched by somebody's free content? How many times has it changed the way you look at something, or shifted your perspective, or taught you something valuable?
Oh my gosh, so much. And you've got a freebie here too. I want to speak into this, because this is one of the pivotal things that I know, we all have something that kind of gets our shackles up. We all have something that's like, I wish this would, they would do this instead. And one of the ways to attract your ideal client is to have a headline.
Yes.
Speak to them and be like, hey, if you are this person, if you want to learn this thing, like, come over here. So not only are you going to be giving for free 103 headlines that you can use in your content, in your Facebook posts, to help attract your ideal client, but talk about the importance of that, because
it's everything. It's not even just a piece of it. It's everything. I want you to hear me on this. Understand this. If your headline does not grab them, they will not read anything else. If your headline does not grab them, they will not watch your video. You literally cannot share your message with somebody if you don't first grab their attention with your headlines. As somebody who spent years as a copywriter, I can tell you that I will often spend as much or more time on the headline alone as I will the whole entire rest of the email or the sales letter or the ad. The headline's the most important part, because I know that if my headline flops, you're not going to read the rest. And so nothing else matters.
Yep.
So it is the most important part. That is why I compiled this list of 283 headline templates. It was actually out of my own need, right? When I was copywriting, I needed to be able to create really powerful, punchy headlines relatively quickly. And so I started just compiling them in a document. And then eventually I was like, maybe I should share this document with others. It might be useful for them too.
I don't know where I got 103, but we have 180 more.
Yeah, 283. Maybe the list has grown.
I had to
it's 283 headline templates, and they're proven. You guys, I didn't make these up. They're tried and true. I pulled them off magazines. I pulled them off BuzzFeed. I found them and I compiled them, and they're tried and true to grab attention. And you can plug in, they're plug and play. You can plug in your ideal client's desires, your ideal client's problems, the things that specifically catch their attention, and it's formatted perfectly so that they can get the rest of your message.
Mm,
You've got to attract them in first before they can hear anything else.
absolutely. So good. Thank you for being so generous with that. That is such an incredible freebie. So don't forget, everybody, grab the link. And Laura, tell everybody how we can get in touch with you besides being inside of Activate Abundance, where they get to have strategy.
Yeah, I mean, well, first and foremost, they need to be inside Activate Abundance. If you are a wellness coach, there's no other place you need to be. You're going to get the alignment, you're going to get the strategy, you're going to get yours truly helping you with your content and your copy, right? And not to mention, can we just take a moment to talk about the importance of community? Because I know we need to wrap this up, but when we're first starting out, this journey feels so big and so overwhelming, and we feel so alone that if we don't have that community, we're going to crumble. Like it's too big, and we're too alone if we don't give ourselves that.
Yeah, it's so true.
So my recommendation is to find me inside of Activate Abundance. And then you can also connect with me on all the socials too. But I would love to see you inside Activate.
Thank you. Thank you. It is an amazing program, and we're so blessed to have your Zone of Genius. I've been working with Laura for several years now. I think we're going on 2, if not more, where we've known each other. And yes, thank you.
It's a great program. Yes, thank you so much for having me. This is amazing.
Totally. Anything else? Any that you want to leave anybody with, or you feel good here?
Create possibility, spread hope. That's what I want to leave you with.
Write that down, people. Create possibilities and spread hope. Like, that really is one of the best ways to build connections, relationships, in a heart-centered business. And it works. It's not like this tactic thing. It really is just allowing you to connect and be there for people and help people with what they desire.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Grab your freebies, and I will see you back here for another pillar. We are going to be moving into the nurture pillar. So we've covered align, we've covered design. We're now in attract. We're next going into nurture, which is going to be so exciting. We've got lots of amazing experts in there, all about nurturing connections and relationships. And so stay tuned. We will see you back here next time. Bye.